Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope you are all excited as I am about the gyms opening. So last week Boris Johnson announced that the UK gyms will be opening on the 25th of July 2020. So we have been nearly 5 months, they got shut in the end of March, so nearly 5 months without our gyms. Now if you'd have told me that like at the start of my fitness journey, or like halfway through once I'd like become a little bit addicted, I'd have been like, no, how will I cope without gyms for 5 months? But here we are. I'm alive. I have made it through. We have adapted, we have got creative, we have enjoyed and also hated home workouts, and yeah, I've smashed some amazing things, and a lot of my clients have still absolutely smashed their goals. So hasn't been all that bad. But what I thought I would do is, because obviously I've got a little bit of inside knowledge, so if you didn't already know, I'm a personal trainer at a gym. So this video is sort of coming at it from like a gym's perspective. So because obviously there's a lot of new guidelines opening back up in terms of like COVID measurements. So I thought that I'd come from like a gym perspective of what we've got to do, but also what I've got to do as a personal trainer, and also like what the average gym user, because obviously I will be using the gym myself still, so what a gym user needs to do in terms of these new COVID measurements. Because I know there's been a lot of like anxiety, a bit of worry, there's a lot of scaremongering going on in terms of like tabloids or showing pictures of what gyms are going to look like, and I myself was a bit like, are they actually going to look like that? But having been inside the gym now, it's not like that at all. Like, it's nothing to worry about. Obviously, I understand some people will have anxiety, especially if you already have gym anxiety. Going back is likely to, you know, you're going to experience this again, but all we need to do is get back into the routine of it. So I thought I would bring you my 10 top tips in terms of going back to the gym. But what I'm also going to do is bring you a sneaky peek inside a gym before they open. So this will go up on the Thursday before the gyms open on the Saturday. So I will show you inside a gym that has been opened in terms of like government guidance and COVID measurements and everything, and I'll show you it's not anything to worry about. Obviously each gym has taken it on themselves and sort of done different things, but I know us at Anytime Fitness are very similar to each other, other Anytime Fitnesses within the franchise. And I'm pretty sure other gyms would be the same. There's just obviously different guidelines and everything. But let's jump into the tips first. So my number one tip is going back to the gym. I know this is going to be annoying for a lot of us, but it needs to be slow. You need to jump back into it slowly, and it needs to be built up slowly. You can't go back in full pelt as what you were when you left in March. It obviously depends for like what you've been doing during lockdown. So I've had like basic equipment, kettlebell, barbell, but the heaviest I've gone up to is 20 kg. So I know that I'm going to have lost strength. That's fine. I'm going to have lost like muscle mass. I have, that's for sure, but that's also fine. So I know that when I go back, I need to start slow and slowly increase. And you know, before you know it, it'll be back. You want to start slow because of a number of reasons. You don't want to cause yourself injury, because then you'll be out of gyms for even longer waiting for yourself to recover, and you'll be so annoyed with yourself. So don't go back in full power. What I would recommend is going back in at about 50% of what you were doing. So 50% volume or intensity if you were doing like weight training, 50% of whatever you were doing prior to gyms shutting down for COVID. So for myself, I will like reduce the amount of sets. So whereas I'd normally be doing 4 or 5 sets, I'm probably going to start at a basic, 12 reps, 3 sets. And I'm going to start building my strength up that way. And then as we get into it, I can start focusing on what my goals are and adapting my training to that and getting my strength back up. Now, If you have done nothing throughout lockdown, and that is okay because we were in a pandemic and that is scary. So that's okay if you did nothing. But if you did nothing, you're gonna need to be taking it a little bit slower than that 50%. I would say go back to the gym like 2-3 times and maybe focus on some full body. And yeah, just ease yourself back into it. Don't rush back into it because you don't want to be out for longer than you need to be, basically. I would say working at the 50% volume for 1 week, and then you can start to increase, you know, 60, 70, 75, going up. And if you have like sort of been able to keep up basic training or basic strength training throughout lockdown, or you haven't lost that much, or you've been training for a while, I would say within 1 month to 2 months, obviously it depends on you as an individual, you will get back to where you were in March quite quickly, like more quickly than what it took you to get there initially, because of this wonderful thing that we have called muscle memory. So it will be easier to get there the second time round. Do not fear. Also, if you go and pick up those 12 kg dumbbells and they feel too heavy and you cannot press them, because I'm sure that's going to happen to me, that's okay, that's fine. Like I said, we've been in a pandemic. No, everybody is going to be in the same boat. It's going to be difficult for everyone. Everyone's going to have lost strength unless you're really lucky and you've had a whole gym to work out in, like in your home or whatever. So number 2 is stretch. Make sure you are taking the time to stretch after your workout. This is the case anyway, whether COVID's involved or not, but especially going back to a new routine, it's really important that you stretch out those muscles. And even more so if you've been sedentary, like we have all probably been more sedentary than we would be at work. I know at work I'm more on my feet. At home I've been sat at a computer or watching TV or whatever. It's harder, especially at the first part of lockdown when we were locked down fully and we could only leave our house out once or for necessities. We wouldn't have been as active, so it's really important that we start stretching, because we're going to have tight hip flexors, we're going to have tight lower backs, and it's just good to, you know, prevent those injuries. So make sure you're stretching. You should be anyway, but please do this so you don't cause injury. Number 3, obviously along with injury, I just hit myself in the face, along with injury there's going to be aches and pains. If you're like, regardless whether you've been training at home, it is not the same as training in a gym with full-on plates and dumbbells and barbells and everything. It's just not going to be the same. So it is expected, whether you're a beginner or like intermediate or you've been doing it for years. Like I said, unless you've been lucky and you've got a whole gym to work out in during the whole of lockdown, it's expected to have aches and pains. DOMS, so our delayed onset muscle soreness, is gonna be there. This is just our muscle soreness, so we don't need to worry. It's not an injury. It just might mean that we need to take a couple more days to recover, as our recovery isn't as quick as what it would have been back in March when we went into lockdown. So just make sure you're allowing adequate rest time and that you're not pushing yourself too hard, because again, if you're not resting, you're going to get injuries. Number 4, this is a big one, and this is something that's really angered me recently. I have seen a lot of news articles, magazine articles, whatever it is, being like, have you gained a few pounds during lockdown, or have you put on a bit of weight during lockdown, or have you become, I don't know, lazy in lockdown? Now, if you have read that and then been like, I need to get back to the gym, do not let adverts like that guilt you into going back to the gym. You need to go back to the gym for your own needs, not because society tells us to or anything like that, because like I said, and I will keep saying, we were in a pandemic. People didn't know what was going on. If you have gained a couple of pounds, that is okay. We don't need to be guilted. Don't do something because society tells us to. Do it for yourself, do it because you want to. So number 5 is obviously like similar to that one. Make sure you're doing it for your own reasons. So obviously going back to the gym is going to be amazing for your physical health, obviously because it's exercise, but also it's going to be amazing for your mental health. We've been cooped up, we've been locked inside, we haven't been able to like talk to that many people. We need to start getting back out there and like communicating with other people, or you know, doing exercise for our mental health and making sure that we're okay. So it's important we get back to that to ensure that we're looking after ourselves the best that we can. Number 6 is, obviously we've all been doing home workouts. Some of us have loved them, some of us have hated them. They've got the job done, let's not lie, it is better than nothing. But I know a lot of people that are like, wow, like, I know my clients, I have pushed them to their limits during my home workout plans I have set them. If you have enjoyed home workouts and you want to carry on doing them despite gyms being open, you do that if it works for you. If you don't want to wake up at 5:30 just to get to the gym before you get into the office, you work out at home. If it means you get an extra hour in bed and you can work out at home and then go straight into the office, you do that. If it means that you don't have to go there after work because and get stuck in traffic and you would rather come home and work out, you do that. Like I said, home workouts are effective. They have been amazing. And if you can like split it so you can get to the gym and do home workouts, you're gonna have the best of both worlds. Make sure you do whatever fits into your schedule the best. So number 7 is you want to make sure that when you're going back to the gym, you have something to follow. So whether that's an online plan you've bought, you've got a coach, you've got a personal trainer, you've designed it yourself, or you know, you've bought a plan from someone, I would recommend buying it from a professional, not just creating it. But make sure you are following something that works, because I know what it's going to be like. We're all going to be like kids in a candy shop and we're going to get overexcited and we're going to want to use every single piece of equipment because we haven't touched it for the last 5 months. But we need to make sure that we are working out to our goals. Otherwise, again, we're going to be going in there and using the lat pull down, we're going to be squatting, we're going to be deadlifting, we're going to be shoulder pressing, we're going to be bench pressing all in the same day, and we're going to exhaust ourselves and we're going to cause injury. So by making sure that you have a set plan, you know, if you want to get back into it and doing 5 days a week, that's what I will be doing because I have been training 5 days a week here, then I'm going to make sure that I stick to my days. I've got my quad days, I've got my glute day, I've got my push-pull days. Like, I'm going to be making sure that my training makes sense still. Number 8 is ask for help. If you're in the gym and you don't know where to start, you don't know what you're doing, it is okay to ask for help. Even if you're not a beginner, it's still okay to ask for help. I find it so amazing how many people go into the gym all the time but they still don't know what they're doing. Just ask for help and it'll be so much easier. You'll progress so much more in your fitness journey, whether it's weight loss, muscle gain. You will get there quicker by asking for help. I always say the most intelligent people are the people that ask for help, because they are aware that they will not be the best at everything. They will not be the best at that one thing. So if they can reach out for help from that professional, they will better themselves. And you can do that in any subject, anything, any area in your life. Take that piece of advice on, because that has taught me a lot. Number 9 is make sure we keep our healthy habits. So before, if you were in an amazing routine, we need to stick to that. We don't want to be dropping anything just because gyms have opened and that's the best thing in the world. We still need to ensure that we're getting enough sleep. We still need to ensure that we're eating right for our bodies, for our goals, making sure that we're fueling our bodies for the work that it's about to do. And we need to ensure that we're like looking after ourselves and that we're not too stressed. Stress management is key. And also, speaking of goals, it's really important that you know what goals you are like training for. Don't just go into the gym and just, you know, even if you just want to go into the gym because you want to be fitter, that's fine, but that is still your goal. Don't just go in there with no idea of what you're doing. Plan them before the gym's open, before your first session back, and you can go straight into it then, knowing what your goals are, and you won't mess around. You will get there quicker. Our last one, tip number 10, listen to your body. Take that rest if you need it. It's okay if you've only worked out 4 times this week. Your body will be tired. It will not be used to working out in a gym. So take the rest that you need. If you feel you can do more, do that. If you feel that you don't want to train that on that day, fine. Swap it for something that makes sense. Listen to your body, and you, again, will achieve your goals quicker than if you do not and you ignore, because you're more likely to put yourself at risk or at harm. So, there are my 10 top tips. I hope they help you get back into the gym. So, now we're going to head to the gym and I'm going to show you around what a gym looks like post COVID-19 and all of the measurements and everything, and I'll give you a quick run through and talk through. Obviously, this is my work, so certain things might be more specific to us. Again, we're a smaller gym, so it might be different to if you've got thousands of members, obviously, but I can speak from experience, and having worked alongside UK Active in our reopening to the gym, it will be similar guidelines for each gym. So let's head to the gym. So we are in the gym. So what I wanted to do is show you around. Obviously there's no one here at the moment. I've just come back to work. Gym's open on Saturday and we're currently on Tuesday. So yeah, I wanted to show you around just to see what sort of measures our gym has put in place and what other gyms will have also had to have put in place. Obviously, like I said, each gym is different and they will have to put certain like different measures in depending on like how big they are and their members. But I'll show you around our gym and all of the guides that we're going to be putting out to keep our members safe. And yeah, we'll take a little tour around. So we've got all through the gym, we have our anti-bac stations. So these are like our temporary ones with anti-bac spray and blue roll, as well as bins to pop everything in. Also in our gym we do actually have like fixed anti-bac stations which are all turned on there, so we had those anyway. And then throughout the gym obviously we've got our stickers just to remind you to keep safe social distancing. We've got a little reminders for our members to make sure they wipe their equipment down. So everything's going to be clean. Obviously, so you might notice that our gym doesn't have tape on the floor. That's because our gym is like bigger and there's much more space for each equipment. So you've got your own like at least 2 meter little bubble. Again, only one person on the squat rack, little stickers everywhere which are really cute, but everything is spaced accordingly. So that's our like weights area, and obviously we've got our another little anti-bac station over there. In terms of water fountains, we've had an extra one put in, but they're not ones where you can like put your mouth around them. They're just ones where you can fill your bottle up just to remove touch points, and obviously everything will be cleaned. So as staff in the gym, we're going to be cleaning every 2 hours. We also have our cleaning team in to clean. But yeah, so everything's going to be clean, but obviously it will be really helpful for our members, and also if you're a member of a gym, when you are exercising, just wipe down the equipment because it will help the staff out, because they are going to be having to work overtime to clean the equipment up after people. Another thing that we're not allowing is sweat towels, just because obviously you're wiping your sweat away, then you're popping it down on a piece of equipment or the floor, and it's just creating more touch points for germs to spread. So we're putting a ban to sweat towels for the foreseeable. Again, more little cute stickers and anti-bacs. But again, with our resistance machines, they're all nice and spaced out. From seat to seat, there's at least 2 meters. And yeah, so that's kind of it really. As you can see, there's nothing too major, like there's no scary like plastic perspex at all, or even our cardio equipment is all spaced out accordingly. But yeah, it's nothing to worry about, so you don't need to have too much anxiety in terms of going back to the gym. In fact, going back to the gym will probably be better for your like mental health as well as your physical health. But basically, I just wanted to show you inside the gym before it opens, so that you could get a feel for exactly what it looks like and know, because I've seen like a lot of like scaremongering where there'll be like plastic everywhere and it's uncomfortable. Also, our gym has purchased face masks, so they're all branded with our Anytime Fitness brand on them, but our guests, gym users, don't have to use them, but our staff will be using them in close like contact with our members. So for example, when I'm doing my PT sessions, I'll have to wear a face mask. If we're showing people around, signing people up, that kind of thing, just general talking to our members, we will be keeping that just so our members feel safer. But it's not a requirement for our members to wear face masks, and it's also something that the government haven't said that UK gyms will have to wear face masks. So yeah, and that's all. Obviously our gym has been opened in guidance, we've passed our thing with flying colours in terms that we are safe to open with COVID measurements. We have had to do like health and safety risks and assessments to ensure that we meet certain standard, and everything has been in line with UK Active. So if your gym is open, it will be safe. Do not worry. Enjoy it, enjoy yourself, and remember, don't go too heavy too fast. We will be using a booking system. I believe the majority of gyms will be, unless they're smaller, just so that their members can feel safer, more secure, so they can book in a slot and ensure that they have their slot specified to them, and that we're not like, gyms aren't overcapacitated with people, too many people in there. Obviously each gym will have its own capacity for how many members it can have due to like the spacing in the floor, but yeah, make sure you check out the booking system. And it's also another good way that if you have to book in your sessions in advance, it's a great way to stay accountable, because if you book them in on like Sunday night for that week prior, you know you've got to stick to it, because otherwise you'll be letting people down and yourself down. But that is enough from me here at the gym. Okay, so you will have just seen our little tour around the gym. I hope that helped and gave you a little insight, and I also hope the 10 tips helped you as well, and has helped a little bit with your anxiety in terms of going back to the gym. Please do not let this worry you. It's going to be difficult for all of us to get used to. It's going to be weird, but we can do this. All it needs is perseverance, and we will overcome that anxiety eventually. And yeah, if you need help, reach out, even if it's to me. DM me on my Instagram, I'll leave my handle here, or pop a comment below and I'll get back to you. But I am here to help you. I am an online coach as well, so DM me, and yeah, if you need support going back, I will be there. I will be your guardian angel. Right, that's enough from me. If this video has helped you, please give it a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button and turn your notifications on, and I'll see you when the gym's open.